In this week of the Legend of the Seas podcast, we talk news about Apple versus the gaming industry, the state of Arena, and should Sea of Thieves adopt a battle pass similar to games like Fortnite. My name is Adrian Murden, and with me I have my co-host Trizzle.
Hey guys, what's up?
And before we get into the news, I'm happy to announce we've expanded the places to listen to our show. You can now find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Google Podcast. So lots of different places. Alright, let's move into the news. First up, we got the rare figurehead challenges, which we kind of brought up last show, but we were definitely wrong about what they were.
Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't anything cool.
That's still a pretty cool figurehead, though.
It's still cool. It's still pretty cool, but I was expecting more.
Yeah, I think they overhyped it a bit, but oh well. Those challenges end on the 24th, so you got a few days to get those done.
What are the challenges?
It's pretty easy. You're basically just going to different islands and inspecting different pictures on the wall. So you and me did one together where we went to Shipwreck Bay, and you look at the sign. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. They're really easy. The hardest one, which isn't even that hard, is you sail through a storm with no lights on.
Okay.
And you get gold and doubloons for all of them, so even if you don't want the figurehead, might as well just do it to get the gold and stuff. Yeah.
I got you.
And then next we have the Fancy Nightshade bundle is free right now for anyone with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And that's available until October 23rd. You just go to the perks section. So it's pretty easy. You can still get the stuff for free in game. And by free, I mean you just pay with gold, not actual money. So.
Oh, really? So it's just something you can just get in the game. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't. It's not exclusive. So
okay.
I'm kind of happy about this. I saw on Twitter this became a big deal. Everyone was mad. Oh, what does they get the exclusives and stuff? And I'm like, this isn't really exclusive. You can buy it from Duke in the shop or whatever for free, or not for free, but you can buy it if you really want it. And it's been out for a long time, so it's not like if someone really wanted it, they probably would have already gotten it by now.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we got through those two things. I think now we're going to get into our bigger news story, which is I titled it Apple versus the gaming industry just because of a couple of different stories within Apple and stuff going on lately, which I kind of think relates to Sea of Thieves in a sense. So first we had xCloud got blocked by Apple, so it's only going to be getting on Android on September 15th. And Apple said it would never accept any game streaming service like that. You want to know the reason why?
Why is that?
They said because they can't individually review every single game on the platform.
That's dumb.
You know what they also let have on their store? They let Netflix and YouTube and stuff, even though they can't review every single video or every single show and stuff on those apps.
It's money.
Yeah, so it really feels like they're kind of going against the gaming industry. And personally, I think it's because they're scared of Game Pass, because I feel like Game Pass is better than their Apple Arcade, which is just kind of a weaker service. I don't even know anyone that uses it, to be honest.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I don't use Apple.
Yeah, it's not really that great. So that's, I guess, the less controversial one. But you also got Epic Games. Earlier this week, you and me were actually both playing Fortnite at the time. When they had their 1984 parody ad, which I don't even think you recognize what it was from.
No, I got a Big Brother vibe when I watched it. So that's the kind of vibe I got from it. So I knew something was up on those lines, but I wasn't quite sure until they explained it at the end.
Did you ever read the book 1984 by George Orwell?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what it's from. So one thing everyone keeps kind of missing is Google also blocked Fortnite from the App Store, on their App Store. Same with Apple, but the difference is on Android you can download from other places, where the big deal with Apple is you can only download from the App Store. So this became a huge topic in gaming in the last few days. I wasn't expecting something like this. They also like dropped their prices on in-app purchases and stuff, and they sided against Apple and them.
Huh.
But you want to know something that I don't understand? So what they're mad about is that Apple and Google take a 30% cut. But you know who also takes a 30% cut? PlayStation and Xbox. But it's not blocked on their stores, and there's no like separate purchasing option on there. So I don't really understand. I feel like everyone's like kind of like setting Epic Games as kind of like the hero in the story right now, but they're kind of just doing this for money. I also don't really think it's right the way that they're kind of rallying up kids to like go against Apple.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
I just found it weird because like I had my brother with me when we were watching the thing. He was so confused. All he knew was that Apple won't let him play Fortnite anymore. That's all he heard from that.
Yeah, it's something else. It doesn't surprise me, but it also surprises me, I guess is the best way to put it. Because I don't know. But yeah, they're just the only ones actually getting called out on it. That's the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it's kind of worth us to mention in this episode just because, you know, the whole thing with Apple does affect CFDs in the sense that no one on iOS can play CFDs now when it comes out for mobile.
Until, they eventually bring it back because they realize how much they screwed up.
Yeah, like honestly, I've gotten to the point where I might just go. Like I was thinking about maybe getting a tablet for xCloud because I want to play, like, say I'm in the library or something because you and me are both in school. So like, if I'm in a class or something, maybe like there's free time, I wouldn't mind just pulling up CFDs and running around. I probably wouldn't want to do it on my phone regardless, but I wouldn't mind like having a tablet. So now I might, instead of getting like an iPad, I'd probably go for like an Android tablet because I know I'll get the stuff when it comes out. Microsoft and Samsung has also made like a deal together to work better. I guess.
Yeah. Well, make the switch. Apple stinks anyways.
I don't know. I'm really invested in the Apple ecosystem, so we'll see. I don't know if this is something that will get people to switch. Just out of curiosity, what would be one app that, say, Google or some other company blocked it on your phone, like that you couldn't use? What would that make you switch?
I don't. There's nothing on my phone that I like die hard care about. So
I feel like for me it'd be like Snapchat because that's how I text everyone.
Yeah,
or like maybe YouTube to a smaller extent, but I usually watch YouTube like on my computer or TV.
YouTube's everywhere though. There's no way they could get like any service is going to be stupid to say, oh, we're going to block YouTube from our app store. That's dumb. That's like. I'm not like social media wise, like Snapchat's about the only thing I really use other than maybe Instagram. And I don't post anything. I rarely do if I do. So like if that stuff like disappeared off the face of the earth, I could care less, honestly. So if one of the app stores was like, oh, because I use an Android, so if they decided to say, hey, we're going to take this off the app store, it's like I'm not going to shed a tear one bit about it because I don't care.
Yeah.
If it was a difference between a gaming perspective, like if it was my computer for say if Microsoft decided to cancel something and take something off their store or keep me from using a certain app with their software, then yeah, I would say maybe I would change and maybe go to Linux or something and see if I could do something there. But like, they're not dumb, so they're not going to just say, okay, you can't use this, you can't play this game anymore, use this service on our software and using our software anymore. Apple right now is the only one that's seriously dumb enough to do it. So, but yeah.
I think the interesting thing is because when Microsoft and Facebook were coming out against Apple with the xCloud thing, that happened about like a week or two ago. When Apple said they weren't going to let xCloud or Google Stadia on there, they kind of condemned it, but I honestly didn't think anything was going to come from it because I honestly thought, no one's going to listen to really Microsoft or Facebook about it. But Epic Games, they launched into a lawsuit and all sorts of stuff that might actually force Apple to open up their platform. So this could like have really good benefits for the whole like gaming community. Like we might be able to just like have a separate app stores where we can download xCloud, whatever we want really.
Yeah, you can't just funnel it through their thing and just their thing only.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. So I'm hoping something good comes from it rather than just, oh, Apple's only gonna get 12% now. I'm hoping something like big changes.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, though.
Um, oh, and one other thing before we move on from this topic, when I was looking at like the xCloud marketing and stuff for like, because I mentioned a little earlier ago that Samsung and Microsoft made like a partnership. One of the things that's in that is to like promote Game Pass and xCloud on their phones and stuff.
Okay.
And they've been marketing Sea of Thieves like the most of anything, like more than Halo or anything like that. So I kind of think that bodes well for the game going forward.
Oh, definitely.
Because I don't feel like this is something that they're just gonna be like, okay, we kind of got enough players playing it now. We can move on. Maybe we'll make Sea of Thieves 2 now instead of working on the game that we already have. So that kind of excites me in a little bit.
Yeah, you think there would be a sea of Thieves too, and just wouldn't keep building off the original game?
Um, so the way they have it set up now, that's kind of what spawned my thought for the discussion question we have later. But right now, I don't see how they can sustain themselves with just like little pets to buy in the shop or like an emote. That honestly, I feel like a majority of players probably haven't bought the emote stuff. Maybe the pets, probably the sword, that right, the Reaper sword and stuff. Just like a very few amount of stuff.
Yeah,
it's nowhere close to like say Fortnite's item shop where you got like diehard fans that will wait for a new skin to drop and buy everything for like $20.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like with their thing though, it's kind of so limited to what they can come up with because they're trying to keep everything in the time period. So that's where like their disadvantage is compared to Fortnite. Where Fortnite, it doesn't really matter because nobody knows what era Fortnite's even in. So, but like them being stuck in like the old times that they are in Sea of Thieves, like the best things I feel like they could do is maybe come up with some new. If they want to make you purchase stuff through their store, change the aesthetic appeal up some instead of just, oh, I get new sales, I get new hull colors or schemes, color schemes and all this. Maybe like give us new like ship, like new ship types, I guess, instead of like the generic ship. You can like get like a maybe more of like an Asian version or like a, what I'm trying to say. It's like something from a different region other than just, okay, this is obviously came from like a European design or an American design. Maybe you could have something different. I don't know, something that's a little more functional instead of just purely aesthetic. Maybe they could do something with that.
But, yeah, I get what you're saying. That's what I was thinking too. Like, there's, like, you could have pirates from all sorts of places that you could pull from, like China and other stuff from that time period. Persia, who knows? I don't think they don't have enough things to do because they have a lot of mystical elements in Sea of Thieves. Skeletons, cursed cannibals, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you could lean into that more and have more mystical type things going on, or just make a new biome. Like, who's to say that there can't be like a snowy biome in Sea of Thieves? I don't know.
Yeah, they can expand the map. They've got all that gray area. Why don't they expand it some? I mean,
or give us private islands.
Or private islands. Yeah, I mean that's cool. But like, I also wouldn't mind seeing a different type of ship every once in a while instead of the same thing all the time.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you're for Pirate Legends, maybe say you have like the 2 people ship, the 3 people and 4 people. Say you could have a different version of those ships that just kind of slightly look different or something.
Yeah, something. I mean, something to give it a little bit of different, like something different. I mean, because like going off of that, I mean, even maybe a way to like further customize your ship. Like maybe you could change where your cannons are oriented at, or maybe we could care less about harpoons. And I've always talked to you about maybe those cannons at the front actually being able to shoot something other than harpoons. Stuff like that. But that's something I wouldn't expect people to pay for. But, if you were trying to think about maybe the customizing route, maybe that's something new they could try.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess that's a topic for another time. But
yeah, I'm sure on another video or episode, we can have a discussion question about different improvements to the game. But today, our discussion questions, or our first one is the state of Arena. So I know that kind of be a little confusing. I know you're a little confused. So what I mean by that is just kind of our general opinions of how we feel Arena is right now.
Gotcha.
So I guess I'll go first, then you can kind of talk about what your thoughts are on it.
Okay.
So right now, I think there was a lot of hype when the Arena change came out, and I think it was better change. I think the actual game they have now is better than what they used to have, where there was a bunch of different chests, and someone could just get 3 or 4 different chests, wait till the very end, and then cash them all out, and then it's just over. Whereas now there's only one chest that everyone fights for, and there's only one turn-in station. I think that's all better, but I feel like I'm getting into lobbies and you take 20 minutes just to load into a game, or you have everyone's in the game and you only have 2 people actually fighting. So then the whole time, whoever gets the most points just starts running away the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Or then the worst case scenario, and I even made a video on it, and I was trying to make it a little bit more funny than I'm actually pretty annoyed about the whole situation. But people just keep doing team death matches in the game.
Yeah, the past few times we've played.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where if we're in a adventure and we're oh, maybe we should go to Arena, I'm kind of at the point where I'm just let's just stay on here or something, because Arena's just it's kind of pretty boring now. I don't know. So what are your thoughts?
I liked the change at first. I thought it made it a whole lot more competitive. Just having the one chest system instead of, the 15 or the 10 or 15 chests that they always had in, any given time.
Yeah.
But there's a point where I kind of missed that old system, because there was still competitiveness in that system. Because you would get on the beach and you'd be fighting over these chests you'd be digging up or trying to stash them so you could come back and get them later. But now, you're saying, this one chest system that they have going now, it's it worked for a little bit and now it's flopping because nobody wants to play that game anymore. Half the times when we play, nobody ever goes for the chest, and then the other time, you have that one person that goes for the chest the entire time, and then everyone else is over in the corner of the map just TDMing, just hand-to-hand combat. They're not using their ships, they're not doing anything, they're just over there fighting, and then it's either you go and join them or you try and actually play the game, which there's no rules. They're not breaking the rules by any means, but it's just they're playing in a way that, there's no rules saying you can't stop in the middle of nowhere and just sit there and fight. If that's what they want to do at the time, that's unfortunately what they want to do. But I don't know how they could go about fixing that, because they intended for the game to potentially be like that if that's how people wanted to play. And I don't see how they could fix it unless, they had some kind of variation in the game, instead of it just being a capture the flag kind of game mode. Maybe they could just have a TDM game mode for those people that just want to go TDM. Where we like doing the ship combat and the TDM, but when we go and play Arena, we're assuming we're going to be playing, ship combat most of the time. Not okay. You've got more than half the lobby sitting over here fighting each other with swords and guns, and then these 2 people over here trying to get the chest. And there's no way of winning at that point because there's no competition. It's a 1v1 at that point.
Yeah.
As for the people that just like to hoard the chests for the whole time, I know we're guilty of it, so I can't
bash the people too badly who do it as well. But a way to fix that, Rare could fix it, is to make it that so that, you know, maybe there's like a fuse on the chest, and it's not like one of the chests of rage or anything, but let's just say, you know, you have it on a ship, and if it switches ships, then maybe the timer resets. But if you have that chest on your ship for so long, maybe it blows up or something like a keg.
Yeah, like what if it was actually just a keg?
Yeah,
so like if someone hits it, then it blows up your ship.
I don't know if I like that. I'm more of a fan of the timer countdown type deal. Like it's like if it's going to be a keg, then, you know, make it invulnerable to everything except for when it times out.
So what about like a chest that the longer you keep it, the less value it has?
Oh, that could even work. Yeah.
So like say it starts off at, say right when you pick it up, it's 2,000 whatever points silver. I think it's what they have in the game.
I think it's 1,000.
I know in the game it's 1,000, but I'm talking about so say it starts off at 2,000. That's right when you pick it up, because it's already going to take you a while to get there. So it's already counting down from that point. So say the game might be able to fluctuate it. So say if the game thinks that it will take you a certain amount of time to get there, it will give you enough points that when you get there, if you went straight there, it'd be 1,000.
Okay, yeah.
But then say if you're spending too much time like fighting other people, or if people are distracting you, then you get less value the longer it takes you to get there.
Yeah, that even that system would work. That would be a great system to fix that.
I think it would be hard. I think it might be a little bit complicated for people too, but it might actually help some stuff.
I mean, if they wanted to do, they could have something pop up on your screen that shows how valuable the chest even is at the time, you know, so you can visually see it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't think of anything else too much to go along with Arena.
I think for Arena, they should start introducing limited time modes. Maybe even replace Arena at certain points, like give the people that want a team deathmatch, make it an event. So have like, say for this whole week, it's team deathmatch and you can win these items in the game. Like how they had the competition of courage when the Arena first came out. You could have something similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, even something like that would work, so then they could get their TDM, and then we could get our ship, you know, combat.
Yeah, if you make it an official mode for people, even if it's for a limited time, at least they get kind of that fix out of the way, and then they're looking forward to trying something new next time.
Yeah, I mean, they have enough of a following, and as much as they do put out updates at it's bi-weekly, right? Their updates.
Sea of Thieves is monthly.
Yeah, it's monthly. Okay, I mean, yeah.
They do like hot patches and stuff if they need to, like in between, but it's usually just a monthly update for content.
Yeah, so I mean, they could add something in to accommodate people that just want TDM versus, just play Arena.
Yeah.
They've got the following. They put out updates at reasonable times, and they could do it easily, no problem. I feel like if they chose to do it, but that's completely entirely up to them.
Yeah, I just like to play Arena how it's supposed to be for once. It hasn't been since the beginning of like it came out that we've been actually able to do it and had like good competition, I feel like.
Yeah, we've had a few good matches, but then other than that, as of late, it's just been nothing but, nobody's actually playing the game. They're mostly there to get their challenges or their accommodations done. They're not even wanting to play Arena. They're just wanting to do that just to get through that aspect of the game.
Yeah, I've had games where you start off with 6 people and then 4 people would quit, so it's just you and one other on team. I'm just like, why am I even playing this?
Yeah, at that point they should put bots in or something. I mean, because they've got all the mobs. Throw skeleton ships up in the air, in the water. Maybe it would be more interesting, because we've had those matches where it's just 1 or 2 people and that's it, because everyone else just leaves.
Yeah. All right, I think we talked a good amount about the Arena. So, moving on to our second question of the week. Should Sea of Thieves have seasons rather than monthly updates? So when I say season, I'm thinking kind of like Fortnite, how they have like season 1, season 2 kind of thing, where it's like maybe a certain theme. They don't even have to do like a theme for it. But right now we have monthly updates for Sea of Thieves, and I just don't think it's working out very well.
I mean, they kind of are. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. They've kind of been having their seasons, I guess. I mean, they had the Ghost, whatever the heck they called the Ghost Fleet one when it first came out, the Emissary one, but like those are just more of content updates versus seasons. So yeah, I guess I could be there with you on that one. Like maybe have the world be changing a little bit here and there instead of everything just being the same all the time.
Well, I guess I didn't explain it that well, because what I'm thinking is they'll have like one monthly update that's really big, and then the next monthly update will be kind of smaller. So like we had the Ghost Fleets, and then we had I think it was called Lost Treasures, where that Lost Treasures update added like new shanties and stuff, but it didn't really add much for content wise. And then now we have the Ashen Lords. Who knows what this month's update's going to be? But I have a feeling it's not going to be as big as a new world event or something like that. So, like, say, what if you took those 2 months, combined it into a season that had like a theme throughout, and maybe what we were kind of talking about earlier, which about Sea of Thieves either starting a second game or becoming like a service game and going on for a while. If they're going to be a service game, they need to make money. So they could introduce like a battle pass or pirate pass, whatever you want to call it, in that season. So within that 2 months, you do a certain amount of like challenges in the game and stuff, and you unlock new cosmetics, whatever.
Yeah, I'd be like, I would like that because there's nothing new in any of the stores. I don't buy anything because I don't like any of the stuff that's in there, so I don't ever feel like changing.
Yeah,
but like. Their art in the game is really well done, and the fact that their creativity and coming up with some new stuff here and there for the aesthetic purpose, even though I know we talked about maybe adding things other than aesthetics items, but there's a lot of good artistic ability in Rare, and the fact that they're not taking advantage of that is kind of sad. Because I'm sure those people there have a ton of ideas, but where are they all at? They're not in the. I mean, they're in the game, but they're not in those portions of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking, like, so what would you want to see if they had their own like season pass kind of thing? Because a lot of games have been doing this, like season pass, where they have, like, I think Rocket League has it now. I think Overwatch has it too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't play Overwatch really. But
yeah, Overwatch does.
Yeah. So like all these games that act as games as services instead of just like a game that just gets put out, like Ori or something like that. Mm-hmm. See if people want Sea of Thieves to continue with their monthly updates, or if they do choose to do seasons, they need to be able to make revenue, or else for them they have to move on.
Yeah, I get that. And so. Like, that's where, like, for me, at least when I started playing, I'm going to use Fortnite as an example because they're a great example for this. Mm-hmm. Their stuff changes all the time. Their maps, they cater their aesthetics and their stores to what's going on in their map usually most of the time. So when, what was it when they had that big snowstorm or whatever, like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago?
Yeah, like season 7.
Like everything in the store was like winter themed or Christmas themed or stuff like that. Like I don't particularly care if something's Christmas themed, but the aesthetics changed to the environment. So I mean, like that's where going back to like the new content we were talking about earlier, like that would be like a prime example of like a perfect opportunity they could take to be able to change the looks of your ships to cater to that, or to have something cataclysmic just come and just wreck the whole map, and just change it up a little bit, because everything's the same
islands aren't moving. Nothing's happening to these islands. Like, I want to see a meteor come out of nowhere and take out an island, and then
or an earthquake. There could be earthquakes in the game or something.
Or maybe there's this is an Avatar. They had the floating islands that are turtles or something. Have like an island that roams around the map. I don't know, like something different, because the maps aren't changing. The map expanded a little bit, I think, way back when to like the Devil's Roar, didn't it? Ice came in around that time, so I don't know if that was always there or not.
That came in, I think, within the first year of the game. So the game came out 2017, I think. So it's been a long time.
So, well, at the time, it was something new that was added to the game. It didn't already come. It wasn't already a part of it when the game was released.
Yeah. So they're not opposed to adding new stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, they need to change it up a little bit, in my opinion. And in order for them to get the new aesthetics, create new islands, create new biomes. I mean, you've got a whole world of possibilities, and we're all at these tiny little rinky-dink islands that are out in the middle of I don't even know where. And, they could have a desert place, and you could go there and you could buy completely different stuff there than what you could buy anywhere else. So I'm not saying get rid of everything that's already in the store and replace it with new things. Give you an opportunity to go places that are different in the game, to different stuff. I mean,
that actually brings up a good point, because it is kind of weird. Like, you'll go somewhere outside the Devil's Roar to like a different outpost, and you can get the same stuff that you can get there, like all the Ashen stuff, stuff like that. Like, what if they had regional specific items that you could buy? You could even put a shop at the Shores of Gold if you really wanted to, and say if you got to the Shores of Gold, you can buy special stuff. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity to do something new, and be a great way to introduce new content if they're just wanting to put aesthetic things in the game. Nothing that's extremely functioning. Like, that's my big complaint about the game sometimes, is that they have so much stuff in this game that you can do or wear or whatever, and there's no functionality to a lot of it. So it's like the pets. Like, I like the pets. Pets are a cool addition, but it's pure aesthetic. They serve no purpose. They're just there. Why not make them be able to do things? Like, I can tell the dog to go get something or go bite somebody. I don't know. I mean, like, why can't I use my dog in combat? That would be something cool. It's cool to me. Like, I don't know what, I think a lot of people would like that. Or I could have a monkey that could go steal something from somebody. Or if I wanted to taunt somebody, I could have the parrot go fly us over to somebody's ship and just trash talk them the whole time. I mean,
it'd be cool about a parrot though. Like, what if you could, or maybe they could just introduce a new pet that's like a messenger hawk, and you could like put notes on it and send it to people like on other ships.
Yeah,
you could you could have like some feature where you could aim it and it flies to another ship. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool.
Or you could use it to say, okay, somebody's tucking on this island and you don't know where. You could, send out this little hawk and it could fly around, and then if it sees them, then it can circle around them, and then where they're at. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little too game breaking, because I think one of the things they want to do mainly is make sure that if you just start the game, you have the same advantages as anyone that hasn't. But then again, they've added things like the hide emote that you have to actually go into the port and buy. So I don't think their little thing about that is a little wishy-washy sometimes.
Yeah, like, I mean, they could even make it where, okay, if you're hiding in a bush, like, give the bush, like, if you're in a bush, then it gives you, like, a ability to hide from them. Like, if you're just one of those, like, say one of the streamers that just goes and just tucks on top of a rock, right? Okay, you're out in the open, the bird sees you, and it's going to sit there and circle you so they see it. I'm not saying put a mark on you. I'm just saying you just got to pay attention to the bird, and you follow the bird, and the bird will follow them.
Or if it just came over and just started, like, squawking around it.
Yeah, or if it just made a bunch of noise, and then you just had to follow it and find it. But
attack dogs or something like how they have in Police.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much stuff in this game, but there's so little functionality to it. That's, like, to me, what's like some of the reasons why, after a little bit, the game starts to get a little boring, because there's potential, but it's not being used.
Yeah, it's also like the last couple nights I've had really good luck finding people, but a lot of times we're just spending so much time just looking for people. They need to expand the server capacity, like honestly, for the
I
game.
agree. I can entirely agree because
We'll spend hours just sailing around, just trying to find people, and we never find people. And I don't enjoy doing voyages anymore. You don't enjoy doing voyages anymore.
No one likes doing voyages. The only people that do voyages are people that want to get Pirate Legend.
yeah, or the people that are starting out. I mean, but other than that, there's for me at least, I don't have any value doing voyages because I have the amount of money that I have, and I don't even need to worry about doing them. I mean, it's something great for new people to do, but I don't care to do the voyages. I hardly care to do the tall tales half the time, and I don't even enjoy doing them.
Yeah, I don't like the tall tales other than a few of them. The newer ones they have, like the Heart of Fire, that one's really good. The Shores of Gold is okay, but it takes way too long. Like the whole opening the vault and stuff before that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that whole gimmick they have over on that island is it's ridiculous as far as you got to run around all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
However, I would love to see more things like you could do with the Shroud Breaker, where you could go to new islands or something.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't want to get rid of the map, then add another map to the game so you can just sail off into the Shroud and go someplace new.
I don't think they would need to get rid of the map.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What would be cool though is maybe they could say you could make this like a whole sea level rise type thing. So like maybe some islands start flooding, but new islands start revealing themselves. So that way, because the problem is if you expand the map anymore, it's just gonna make it harder to find people.
Yeah.
So like maybe you make it so that all the islands that are in the bottom south of the map get kind of almost erased in a sense. Like they're still there, but they're so flooded that you can't even do anything on them. But there's a new section up north, so basically the whole map kind of just shifts upward, and for a time being, and then eventually those islands, like the water recedes and somewhere else goes away, something else comes up. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd like to see them try something a little more out of their comfort zone because I feel like their updates are kind of they're kind of holding themselves back in a sense, just because their last update disappointed me a lot with their whole new event, and
I think it disappointed a lot of people. I don't really see anyone do it.
No, and
I also can't get to a skeleton fort ever now. They increased the spawn rate for the Ashen Lords and Flameheart and stuff, and they decreased the skeleton forts, and we had our friends trying out the game for the first time, and I'm like, well, we should go try to do a skeleton fort. We hopped in 5 different servers and I couldn't find one.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to do something different, and I get why they did the Ashen Lords because it is a part of their lore or whatever, but I think they need to realize that it's kind of a bust, and they either need to fix it or do something else with it. Because to me, it's terrible. I don't enjoy it. Nobody enjoys it. Nobody does it. I've only seen one crew ever do it, and that's it. And
that was weird at the beginning when everyone was trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah, and we didn't do it. So
the real testament to if something's gonna last is if they're still doing it 2 weeks after the update. You still see people doing the Ghost Fleet with Flameheart. I don't see people doing regular Ghost Fleets, but I do see them do Flameheart because that actually gets you good rewards. Yeah, because they want those cool cannonballs, but other than that, I mean, their events, they're kind of, I feel like they're hurting themselves. They're just throwing things out, and they're, I don't know how much they actually mess with it themselves, but I think it's insane that it takes 2 hours to do one event, and that's with me and you were doing it for I don't even know how long, and we just gave up and left because we couldn't even beat him. So I mean, it's just not a good event. And going back to, they need not to get rid of the map, but do something else with it, because to me that would give
that would be more interesting than you adding a new event all the time. Like, I'd rather go check out new islands and see what new they could add to the game. If they're only going to add aesthetic stuff to the game, they need to add new aesthetic stuff to the game instead of, throwing out useless stuff all the time,
And if they made unique islands, like, not, I don't want to try to bring it back to Fortnite so much because I'm sure people are probably getting annoyed by now. But you see, every time Fortnite releases a new location, they get a rush of people who try to get in the game and go see that place. Think how amazing that would be for PvP, though. Like, you could be like, oh, I know people are going to be going to this island because it just released. Let's go fight them, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, to me, they've kind of given up on their gameplay in a sense, almost. Because they're not adding anything extraordinarily new, other than a handful of events.
I'd say the emissaries were the last time they did something really big and new in terms of gameplay wise.
Yeah.
But the problem is, the biggest problem with this game, and it's going to bite them in the butt soon, because I think we talked about it on the last episode probably, but why would you do all these events and stuff if there's no value to the money that you earn from it?
Mm-hmm.
We keep coming back to this whole thing about aesthetics. They need something for us to buy with.
Yeah. So, I mean, they need to kind of come up with some new stuff that you can buy. I personally, like I said in the beginning, I'm a huge fan of them. I don't even care if I have to buy it, with the gold in the game, or I'll dish out like a few bucks. They sail around in a different ship,
If it's if it's affordable, if it's not ridiculous, like, I'm not going to pay $20 for a virtual ship. That's Fortnite money there.
I mean, just something different. Like, even if the ships had a different layout, like a completely different layout, so the cannons could be in different spots or pointing in different directions. I'm cool with that. Like, just something different. Just add something a little different to the game. That is more involving to the players, where they feel like they're more in control than, okay, here's your ship, the same ship you get every time you spawn into the game. To me, that would be adding something completely different, and it could, if they do a good job at it, they could draw new people in.
It'd be cool if there was like a ship builder, like you go up to the shipwright lady and you could design it to say, maybe it's not like full customization, but you could choose, say, hey, I want the anchor, instead of being behind me on the sloop, I want it to be in the front.
Yeah.
Or instead of having the harpoon, there'd be 2 harpoons in the front. Maybe I could have a harpoon in the back. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, just a way for you can customize your layout of the ship to how you like it.
Yeah, because player customization's not worth it in a game like this, where you can't even see your player most of the time.
Yeah, so I mean, you've got the aesthetics for the ship, and I can customize that as a player, but I can't customize the ship that's apparently mine, in the game. I can't physically customize it to rearrange it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's my take. But I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to be doing next, and to me, they kind of need to figure it out, because his last update sucked.
Yeah, we'll see what the next update's like. I can't really talk about it much because I'm an insider, and they'll, come attack me. But I think we talked enough about this. You ready to move into the clip of the week?
Yeah.
I saw this clip on Twitter. CFT reposted it. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, so they completely ran it onto the island, and they were pulling it up with the harpoons.
Yeah, did you see them flip it yet?
Yeah, it's about to do it right now. Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know how those the mast didn't break. Of course, when we get hit by like one little cannonball, it breaks completely. But flipping upside down and ramming it to the land, it doesn't break it.
It just phases through the island, and it's okay.
Yeah, well, that's our clip for the week. That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. You can find this episode and a lot more over on YouTube. Search for Agent Murden. And you can catch us on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday to watch us play Sea of Thieves at 6 p.m. And that's it for this week. We'll see y'all later on the seas.
See you guys.